Hi. Welcome again to Steels Unleashed to the max. This is 4116 steel. This is an Ontario knife company, Wraith. 4116 it's a much more common steel than you think. It's often what the unnamed stainless is. Say Victorinox's knives are a Victorinox version of 4116. Cold steel, call it German Krupp 4116. On this knife it is 1.4116. It's all the same stuff as far as I'm aware. Very basic steel, but not without its positives. It's quite tough. My cold steel leatherneck in 4116 was one of the toughest knives I've had. Really able to warp and bend, especially for a stainless steel. Very cheap. Takes a very fine edge. They call it surgical steel for a reason sometimes. It takes a very sharp edge, and that is true. And it is very easy to sharpen. So my Tormek stone I was using just then, just 1,000 for a very short amount of time. So whether that bodes poorly for this result of the rope cut test I'm about to do, who knows. But it's not been bad stuff in the past. Cold steel ProLite, my old ProLite in the edge retention test with a work sharp edge, cut mid-60s I think. So actually a bit better than lots of the other stainless steels. Very dependent on the heat treat. This knife, between 57 and 59. It's a bit of a, that's three numbers it could be, really. And those could really matter to edge retention. Victorinox, I think, run at about 55. So, and that's apparently a bit of a different version of it, but they're not super forthcoming with what it is. Anyway, what I've done is I've put what was it again? 13 degrees edge on per side on this one. Had to be 13 because I just wasn't getting a fine enough grip in the Tormek because there's a strange grind on this, so I had to grab this top part here, so go down a little bit more. So I ended up wearing out, well, not wearing out, but marking up the jaws of the Tormek. You see they're all shiny here. I was actually grinding the Tormek clamp, so whatever, it's fine. But so 13 rather than what has been 12 the last couple of times. God, it's cold in here. We are in the middle of like a freeze wave, the opposite of a heat wave. It's like 1 degree Celsius in here right now. What better way though to warm up do you know of than taking a steel and unleashing it to the max? Okay, save for what is really just a couple of just dull spots. I'm hesitant to even stop the test there, but it's just not a given every time that it's gonna, let me actually line up the edge that I was using, that it's gonna slice the paper. But there's it's like I reckon 2 1mm little areas that have either rolled or gone dull. It's still a hugely usable edge. So that is a really impressive result for this most basic of steels. I'm happy to say it's not reliably slicing, but geez, it's only just not reliably slicing. 140 cuts, 4116 steel, 57 to 59, maybe it's closer to 59, who knows? Or maybe I've just got the perfect geometry for this steel, lending it strength and sharpness, 13 degrees per side, backed up by, a pretty thick behind the edge, grind. It's just a saber grind or a flat grind. Very interesting stuff. Very good performance from this Ontario Wraith. At 13 degrees per side, you've just seen it. Cutting rope and frankly cutting barely not cutting the paper anymore. So, but let's grab my little piece of nasty Australian wood. We'll shave some wood off with it, and we'll do like a crappy home job feather stick. See if that has any effect on the edge. Alright, as I said, just some really minor dulling in a couple of spots, probably just rolling slightly, or just dulling slightly the spots of most copious rope contact, who knows, but excellent performance really from this knife. I'll have to put the thumb studs back on. That was the only other annoying thing about sharpening it to this angle. The thumb studs had to be taken off, which was a bit of a chore because they were sort of Loctite'd on as well. But yeah, 4116 guys. Yeah, these, as I've said from the start, these aren't super still numbers, of course. What I'm trying to show you is this is a lot of real world EDC use. This much, all this rope. Like this is a lot of, it's a fair bit of cardboard. It's a lot of food, a lot of clothing tags. Just think about steepening your edge just a little bit. This is getting towards, the crazy side, but even if you steepened it maybe at 15 degrees per side or something, the steel can take it and it's going to boost your performance. That's just what I'm seeing, it's what I'm finding, it's what's going on here, I think. So anyway, 4116 from the Ontario Knife Company's Wraith knife. I'm really happy with that performance. It's definitely up there with your 8CR13s and your AUS 8s at higher angles. Alright? Thanks for watching, dudes. I'll see you in the next video. I will be doing a review on this knife once I've given it more actual pocket time, especially with this fantastic new edge. I'm going to be cutting the crap out of heaps of stuff with it. I'm just going to give it a quick buff. I have no doubt that it's going to restore back to being a nice, perfectly slicing edge rather than just a barely not reliably slicing edge that it is now. Okay, see you in the next one, dudes. Bye. Bird! Bird!